Well, hi, welcome back to Top Podcast. And today we have Jack Nunn. Jack Nunn flew all the way from UK to be here. And you missed our first podcast,
Yes.
right? But I'm so happy that you made it to this.
Yeah, of course.
We had to do a special session for you, but that's worth it. So welcome from UK
Thank you. Yeah.
to Dubai. So you were one of the actors in the Where Are You From movie,
Yeah.
and also you contributed actually also in directing it, and you were very helpful. Also in the other movies, actually, the first movies we shot. So, and tell us about yourself a little bit.
Yeah, so I'm from the UK. I'm from Newcastle, and I moved to Dubai when I was 8. So I lived here for 9-10 years before I moved back for uni, which is what I'm doing now. Yeah, I think I've just always been in love with the film, and I think there came a point when I couldn't just keep watching it. I had to be part of it, and yeah, just been on that journey.
Sounds great. Sounds exciting. You're studying filming now in UK, right? How's it going?
Great. I'm loving it. Yeah.
You're loving it.
Yeah, it's great
Nice.
being around like-minded people, working on projects and just learning more.
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah. We had great fun also shooting our movies here, right?
Yeah.
Great learning experience. We were in the same class. We are classmates. We
Yeah.
were classmates.
Yes.
So, and it's been fun. So I know we want to continue, of course, and this is what we are doing is, I think, a lot helping you with gaining experience, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, for
hands-on learning, kind of. Yeah, for all of us. Well, you mentioned that you came to Dubai, when you were a kid. So now let's talk about this movie a little bit. The movie is about people who have different nationalities, ethnicities. So kind of having identity crisis, some of them even, let's say, to that level of being mixed or being born somewhere in one country but lived mostly in another country or multiple countries. So in your case, and we hit this in the first podcast, and not everybody agreed that asking where are you from as soon as you meet someone is for some offensive. And in our case, two actors said, no, that's pretty fine. That's okay. We don't have a problem with that. And then that was Asif and Sid. And Marwa, on the other hand, she said she's seeing a problem with that. And my point is, of course, that I rather people take their time to get to know me before they ask me that, or because if they ask me that question, if I say I don't even know which one is the right question answer, because is it where I was born, is it where I'm from, or is it where my one of my parents are, where I'm from, and then, or is it the country that I spend most of my time is where I'm from? These are the things we are tackling with this movie, right? So with your background, did you have any problem with this question or with these kind of issues?
I think it's a very nuanced discussion, isn't it? I think that it does depend on the person and the place. I think it's a big difficulty in that fear of not wanting to be judged based on where you're from, and not wanting to be stereotyped and profiled essentially based on where you're from and the kind of stereotypes around that place. So I think that, there is that right to want to be, seen as yourself rather than where you're from. And yeah, I think I've always found it interesting because I moved from the UK when I was 2. So I've never actually properly lived there until now. So I think I've never felt fully connected to it in the same way that someone you'd think is native would. So I think it's an interesting question to kind of decide whether you want to, be seen as where you're from or who you are now. And plus, I think it's an interesting one for Dubai, especially. I mean, it's 91% of the population are immigrants.
Mhm.
So, it's very
Yeah.
much, it's an interesting question as far as here, so many people from so many different places. It's, there's not that one culture there that you would, so there isn't that other in the sense of if you move somewhere else.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. I kind of feel the same for California, for example, right? So everybody is mostly from somewhere, and then you feel kind of comfortable because you don't need to fit into anything. You are not expected to act in a certain way because there's no dominant ethnic or culture. There's no dominant ethnicity or a race or way of doing certain things. Just the certain rules that you need to, follow,
Yeah.
the laws and stuff like that. Other than that, it's just everybody is different. Everybody has a different background. So it feels great in that sense. I think I feel the same in Dubai too. It's different than any other country that I know, similar to California maybe, because I live there. But yeah. So but when they ask you where you're from, you say, I'm from Dubai, really, like in the movie, or you say you're from England?
I mean, I think it's easiest to say I'm from England. Otherwise, I think if I said I'm from the Middle East, there'd be a few raised eyebrows. I think it's where I was born and it's where my family is.
Uh-huh.
So I think in that sense, I do feel my connection to it. But of course, growing up here, I do think I'm in some ways from Dubai as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So do you have any problem, let's say, when you go back to UK, you said you didn't live there even long enough, any problem adapting to the culture there? Do you have any challenges?
I mean, I think that it's been easier than I was expecting. I think I've been managing to adapt well enough. I think it is very different. But yeah, I think I found it most strange describing having lived here, because I think I found there are certain judgments based on having been here, for example. So I think there is that difference as well. Again, being asked where are you from and kind of seeing how people react to that question. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So in the movie, we kind of you eventually end up saying I'm from Dubai. Do you remember why you said that? And there was of course, different reason why you said it, but did that make sense? Or
Yeah, no, absolutely. Because I think, it's where I've grown up. It's where I've become the person that I am. I think it is very much a part of me. And I think it would be disingenuous to say that I'm not in some part, from Dubai. So yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So in the movie, you saved basically Asif and Marwa was also not, like almost everybody not really happy with that question. It's just a movie, of course, but there are people who really has problem with that, right? Just we talk about this in the first podcast because it really doesn't describe who they are if they say, let's say that person was born in a certain country. If he says I'm from there, it just doesn't match. I mean, it doesn't. It doesn't really describe who really he is or she is. So we have, millions and millions of people have this problem, and then they have this identity crisis, basically. And have you met anybody like that other than me?
Yes, I think a lot of people, when I was growing up here in schools and stuff, a lot of people that have moved around a lot in their childhood who have lived in like 3 or 4 different countries. So I think there was also that similar thing of they didn't know quite what home was for them because they were always moving, always adapting to a new place and a new culture.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, absolutely. I think I met a lot of people and are friends with a lot of people who do have that struggle of where are they from and what place is their identity tied to in that way.
Mm-hmm. And how were they dealing with that problem?
I think a lot of them have kind of had that idea of kind of living in the present, living in where they are now and trying to adapt to that new place. And that's who they are at this moment in time, rather than trying to focus on, bringing together all those different parts of themselves in the past.
And when someone asks them where you're from, how did they answer?
Some will avoid the question. I think a lot will go back to where they were born. I think because, of course, that is the place where you started. I think there weren't many that would say that they are from Dubai in the same sense. Yeah.
Some of them said that.
A couple, but
Wow.
yeah.
Right. Interesting. So, are you working on any project nowadays? Filming?
Filming wise, no. I'm busy with studies and just getting acclimatized to a new country. Writing a lot.
New country meaning UK?
UK, yeah.
Yeah, you're from UK, but
Yeah, no, it's confusing. Yeah, but I see it as adapting to a new place because I've never really lived there before, so it is feeling like a new country. I think working on writing and developing scripts for projects, but nothing ready to film per se yet.
So when you finally graduate, is it a 4-year school?
Yes.
Yeah, 4-year. Once you finally graduate, what is your goal in this field? What are you trying to accomplish? What's the big project in mind you have that you want to accomplish, if any?
No, certain big project per se. I think I want to try and just help people through this medium. I mean, art in general helps people, from generations. It's the stories we tell that bring comfort and teach lessons. It's a big part of just life in general.
So you want to share your experiences with?
I want to share my experiences and be able to educate and comfort others in similar ways and challenge people as well.
In a specific field or general?
Just in general, I think everyone can learn from anyone really. Everyone has their own lives and everyone has their own experiences, and I think the more experiences you learn about, the more well-rounded person you become.
That's interesting because you are still young, right? You're studying, but you accumulated a lot of experience already that you feel like you should be sharing, which is, I definitely agree. I think if everybody was like you with this mindset, I think the world would be a better place. And because I am thinking the same, and of course my age is way older than you. I'm way older than you. So it is something that we need to do. What kind of platforms you think you're gonna use for that?
My preferred route would be movies, actually having things in the cinema. That's such a large part of me, my life growing up, going to see things with friends and family and having that shared experience and shared growth in that way. But I think any ways that you can, get your messages and get your art out there is important. Social media is growing so much these days. It's pretty much the main platform that people actually see things. So, in that sense, it's important not to ignore that.
Right. When you say movie, are you talking about full feature movies or short movies?
Either. Of course, the dream is feature length films. But you never know for sure.
You think the new generation's gonna be watching movies as the previous generations did? We spent 2 hours sitting watching a movie, but I think nowadays people, they don't have much patience, less and less patience to sit. That's almost like a lot of commitment for people to decide to, okay, I'm going to sit and watch this movie for 2 hours. You think is this a field that gonna eventually disappear? Are we gonna have a social media style short movies only eventually, or is it gonna stay? What do you think?
My hope is that it stays. The more time passes, the less important it seems. We just had the Netflix buying out Warner Brothers, and that's going to affect things. They want to, reduce theatrical windows for films and bring them to streaming. So there is that sense. And then, of course, just the people generally, it seems, are more willing to spend more time on smaller increments, like episodes or like reels and videos online.
They have even micro series now, right? Yeah.
But I do think there is still that want for the larger forms. I mean, like the last year, it was Gen Z were the largest amount of people in cinemas. It was they were the generation, the most people actually going to theaters. So I think it is coming back around. I think people do want to see things properly in that sense.
I see. So this social media hype, short scrolling and all that stuff, I think we are kind of slowing down now and saying, okay, we should read once in a while books or watch movies in the theater or something like.
I mean, I think social media still has its place, of course, but I think that feeling of it being new and fresh is going. And yeah, no, I mean, I hope everyone continues to read books. I mean, I think they are very important. I mean, when I was growing up, before I wanted to do films, I was writing short stories, and I was writing like books in that sense much before I moved to trying to tell things in a visual medium as well. I think that's where I started, just because I loved books as well.
Nice.
I think it's very important to have all these different types of art in your lives.
That's what the film industry is all about, right? We have that part of script writing, as you said, and story writing. It's a crucial part, actually. We cannot have a good movie without that, right? Well, thank you. Is there anything else you want to talk today? So far, it's been really nice. I learned new perspectives. Is there anything you want to share with us?
I mean, I guess just anyone watching, go see films, go read books, just engage with art and spread your love of things, feel humanity, at a time when, things feel less human, I guess. Just manage to embrace those things that, make us wonderful. Yeah.
Right. Is there any specific message that you want to, like, are you planning to relay any specific message or communicate to the new generations when you start making movies?
I think it's just finding the beauty in life, not spreading hate or judgment. It's you need to understand each other. You need to be able to learn from each other and actually, grow as a community rather than trying to, build things up on your own. I think you need people and you need that kind of society in the sense of growing together. I think it's very important.
That's right. I think like Netflix type of platforms are really a chance for a lot of other countries that they couldn't get into the film industry because they didn't have their own Hollywood or not. But nowadays we can make a movie even using our phones, right? And there are award-winning movies like that. So in that sense, it's very promising, and I have hope that this field is now open to any age group and any income level group even. They can make movies, and which should actually help to bridge that gap between cultures, which is not knowing the other cultures. The lack of information is causing, I think, hatred. And for me, like, that's one of my goals, making movies where I can bridge that gap among different cultures and religions, so that we can fight against this hate. But that's unfortunately kind of, maybe it's getting more and more every day. And well, at least we can do something in our own circle of influence.
Yeah.
I think everybody has responsibility, I think, to do something to stop hatred and bring peace.
Yeah. I mean, we're all responsible, I think the the biggest weapon we have, is our empathy, is our need to help people and get like messages out there that will bring people together. I mean, apathy is the worst thing we could have. We need to feel care for each other. We need to, we just need to actually do things. We can't just sit on the sidelines and just watch as things happen. We need to, you know, do what we can. And for us, this is what we do, right? You know.
Sounds great. Yeah, thank you. So thanks for coming.
Yeah.
All the favor from UK. How long are you gonna stay here since you're here now?
I'm only here for another few days. Then I'm back. Yeah.
Back to the school, right?
Yeah.
Great. And I'm looking forward to work with you again.
Yeah.
When are you coming next time?
I'm not sure. I'll try to come back as soon as possible. You
Okay.
know?
All right. I hope we can do some projects even online.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
We can work on that together. So thank you for coming, Jack.
Thanks for having
nice
me.
talking to you.
Yeah.